Hey, welcome back to my channel, Duct Tape Mechanic. In this video, I'm going to show you the top 3 reasons why your GE or Hotpoint washing machine is not agitating your clothes, therefore leaving them very dirty. So if you find this video to be helpful, make sure you subscribe to my channel for more DIY and tinkering videos. Alright, so here is the washing machine in question. It's a Hotpoint washer, but this video is going to be applicable to any sort of Hotpoint or GE washing machine that's been purchased in the last 10 or so years. GE is pretty much the manufacturer of Hotpoint, and all the washing machines are pretty much the same. It's just a little bit less fancier than the GE ones, but the parts and everything else are exactly the same. But what's happening here is that this washing machine is going through the cycle just fine, and it's spinning out the clothes at the end, and it's nice and dry. But what's actually happening is the clothes are very dirty and not getting clean at all. That's because this middle agitator right here, or this piece right here, that's called the agitator, is not functioning. So the machine sounds like it's washing, so you'll hear a very discreet buzzing noise like zzz, 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 and I'll demonstrate that in a second. But the middle portion is not actually working. So this video I'm going to cover 3 of the reasons, or the 3 of the top reasons why this is happening. So before I do that, I'm going to bypass the lid lock right here. So I'm going to undo those 2 screws and just put that striker in the lid lock mechanism right here. And that's going to actually allow me to watch a cycle and see what's going on and show you what's going on. So we'll do that in the next clip. And just if you're curious, that is the model number to this particular washer. As you can see, it says GE because it's exactly the same. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and bypass the lid lock and show you exactly what's going on. So as you can see, the washing machine is not agitating the clothes at all. It's just sitting there making that sound. So let's go ahead and fix it. Alright, so if your washing machine is having those symptoms, so one of the biggest ones is it does have to sound like it's agitating, because if it doesn't sound like it's agitating, then it's an issue with the shifter. It just means that it's never getting to the agitation stage. But here, as you saw, it clearly sounds like it's in the agitation mode, but the auger or the agitator is not actually working. So the very first thing you want to check, and if this one is the issue, consider yourself lucky, because the next 2 issues are going to be a little bit more difficult and a little bit more expensive to solve. But a very common issue on this sort of model is a worn out agitator, or a stripped agitator. And a quick and easy way to tell is just grab the agitator and either turn it to the left or to the right, and the drum should turn as well. So if you turn it and it just spins by itself very loosely, then you got a stripped out agitator. So I'm going to go ahead and grab it, and I turned it, and you could see that the agitator is turning the tub as well as it turns. So I'm going to do the other opposite direction, and that tells us that at least the teeth of the agitator are okay, and the agitator itself, this plastic piece right here, is not stripped. But like I said, these things do strip out very easily. It's a very common issue with this machine. In this particular case, these are okay. So this is what a good one would look like. If it was bad, you would just spin it, and it would just kind of, this whole base would just spin by itself, and the tub would not move. So that would be the number 1 reason, is a stripped agitator. And to replace that is really simple. I'm going to show that to you real quick. So most of these models, all you have to do is just pop up the fabric softener cover right there, and then stick a 11mm socket and with a fairly long extension down there, and there should be just one bolt that holds this whole apparatus on. There's that bolt. Then you should be able to just pull it straight up and out of there. So basically what happens is these plastic teeth, they get worn out as they rub against that metal portion of the transmission shaft, I should say. So basically it just kind of spins around that shaft and doesn't do anything. And so what I'll do is I'll provide a link to this product, and you can order that. Should be around 50 or 60 bucks, but it sure beats getting a whole new washing machine because of this. And to install is pretty much exactly the same. Just put it on the shaft and tighten up that bolt right there. All right, so the second reason is that the teeth on the tub right here, as you can see right there, are completely worn down and no longer sticking to the base of the agitator. This is also a common enough issue, and this portion of the agitator actually, or the tub I should say, also gets worn out sometimes or stripped out, and it'll actually develop a crack or something, and that basically means the end of your washer, because this tub is expensive, plus the labor is fairly intensive to replace that inner tub. But that is what the teeth should look like. I have seen them where they're pretty much grounded down to nubs. So in this case, that is not the issue, and we will move on to the third reason. Okay, so the third reason is also a fairly major repair, but one that's going to be it's going to be cheaper than replacing the tub, is that the transmission itself is worn out. And I can show you how to test that, so you don't need to pay any sort of appliance technician to come to your house and tell you, hey, you got a bad transmission. The first step is obviously to go ahead and bypass the lid switch that we have done already. And the second portion is to go ahead and remove the agitator, which we have also done. And then in the third step, we're going to put this thing into parts testing mode. So it's a diagnostic mode that this machine has that's going to allow us to check the agitator or the agitation function and see if the transmission shaft is actually spinning. So let's do that next. All right, so to put this thing into agitation mode, or to check the agitation function I should say, is really simple. All you need to do is hold down the start pause button. So I've got that held down. Then turn this center knob to the left 7 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then just let it go. And if you've done that right, it should all the lights should blink like that. After that's done, this has allowed us to go into the troubleshooting mode, or the technician mode, whatever you want to call it. After that, to check the agitation, we're just going to keep turning this until only the spin, rinse, wash, and soak lights are on. Or when those lights are blinking, I should say. So I'll show you what that means. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so basically it took me 15 turns to the right, or 15 clicks to the right, to get to the point where the spin, rinse, wash, and soak lights are on. So they are on and not blinking. I take that part back. So go ahead and put it into diagnostics mode by holding down the start pause button and turning it to the left 7 clicks. Let it go, and then turn it to the right 15 clicks. And you should be at a point where the spin, rinse, wash, and soak lights are on. And then all you have to do is hit the start button, and it'll go into agitation mode. Now you do need to make sure that the lid lock is bypassed and the water valves are on, because it's going to add a little bit of water before it starts to agitate. So let's start it. All right, so we are in the agitation mode through the diagnostics mode, and we're going to come over here, and we're going to see that our center shaft of the transmission is not agitating at all. As you can see, the tub is hardly moving, and that center shaft is completely dead in water. It should be much more aggressively moving than that. And that's basically what our washing machine was doing when we had the clothes in there. Now we can actually see a visual
of what's happening.
So if your machine is doing this, unfortunately that means your transmission is completely shot and has to be replaced. Now these transmissions are not super expensive. They're about 150 or 160 bucks. So I will link that if you want to replace that. And I do have a video that goes into details on how to replace that transmission. And I'll link that in the description of this video as well. But if you don't want to go in with that repair and you don't want to pay for that cost of the transmission, hopefully you still found this video to be helpful in that you were able to diagnose it yourself without paying somebody else to tell you that your transmission is bad. Anyways, if you did find this video to be helpful, make sure you hit the thumbs up sign.